Welcome back, everyone. It's time to get into our second round of tactics here for the Keiser Classic. I am Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside Synth, and we're getting into Flare versus One. One had themselves with a good old 3-0 sweep, and it took a reverse sweep by Flare's LG brother of Eclipse to take them down. So 1-0 versus 0-1 in this capacity, and we're starting with some CTF Aqua.
Yeah, let us not forget though that that Eclipse versus Flare match went right down to the wire, very close. Either team probably could have taken that. I think this is going to be an excellent matchup for these teams. And, yeah.
Was it a 50-49? Eclipse stealing at the very last possible second of that Game 5 Slayer. One, not exactly finding themselves ultra challenged in that first series overall by the Yunks, who will maybe get some extra time to put some old minty heat and ice onto their frosty bones. Either way though, do get in blue, which is not the Yunks and not One. You'll see the titles at the top of your screen. Is Flare and One trying to invade, maybe get this first flag pickup.
Dead for Flare at the moment. Dremora falling back. So Flare continues to die as One starts to make their way up the map. You see them taking control of top mid, starting to take over the map for a moment, try and maybe pull a fight here.
Strength from out Flare. They're hoping to kind of repel this initial onslaught, but they want to clear the rest of this lobby. Nice and quick double kills. They do get rid of Nazcast, and that's going to leave only T4 alive, so no pickup happening as of yet, as they wanted to clear the board, give themselves a free avenue for success off of this pull, and they don't get any of the pull in the first place. T4 will run up, I believe, off of that opposite end bridge. Oh, hold that thought. Nice quick jet. They try to be able to pop over One. T4 hoping to record maybe their first kill. Can't quite do that as Dremora stays calm, stays poised, and stays defensive.
Yeah, some basic footwork out of T4, but not quite enough to pick up that kill. Still no pulls yet. We're about, what, 2 minutes into the game at this point? So, you know, not too slow. But we should be seeing some more action in just a second. As One gets their flag pulled.
They are, in fact, poised to try and do the same thing onto Team Flare. And this might be a cap for cap, and that's exactly why they're not trying to force that to go all the way to S1. If they can help it, they want to chill for just a moment, see if they can get at least a few quick picks. They do have a camo pickup this side of Flare. Bales, it'll be burned out. Dremora is going to try and run this the rest of the way. There's going to be some defense set up, and that's exactly what they got to watch out for. They have one man over the top of them. They're going to be able to take out Mix. Hell of a duel win right there. Might be able to get the rest of the squad to help them out.
Yeah, you really just saw them wait there, leave the flag there for a second, you know, get some more control on the map, and then start to move it again. And hopefully this works out in their favor. Getting some kills, not too dead for One. Squeaky Easy does fall though, and 4 might be able to get this free. 4 dead though for Flare, and that should be the flags activity.
Longest pull that we've gotten to see so far, but unfortunately for Flare, they really can't finish the job. Good defense, even after winning that initial skirmish against Mix. This one runs its way right back round. Sixen and company. They haven't been able to do too much. They've been present around back blue base. Finally, a pull begins their direction. They toss it out from overbridge into utility. That's about it, though. And they do have that man advantage. They should be able to actually run this as a 2-man advantage, as Sixen will lead the charge. There's no one really left to stop them, so a quick cap should be on its way.
Dremora just trying to run out, kind of overextend to stop. Nazcast will pull their flag, and 4 dead for One.
Enemy flag
as
returned.
Flare's flag gets sent back home, and One spawns up in seemingly bridge. Get this flag moving.
Goal line stand to make sure that one does not score first. Same thing is going to happen, but just in the middle of the map. Nazcast goes down with the ship and with that plasma. So we've seen these traverse all the way to the opposite side of the map. But no one's been able to record their first one. Looking like that we might have a 12-minute CTF here with Aquarius. 2 kills shared between them as they got a quick crossfire from off that top side of mid. Nazcast will cover down. So for all the pressure we're getting coming out of red players here with one, it feels like they've both had a struggle bus to try and finish the job. So 6 in, I'm not sure if that one completely activated, but they did go through the process, and that might be a burned camo.
I believe that was burnt. Player just kind of making it difficult for one to move up the map. You know, just trying to play their lives. You know, avoid death as much as they can so that they don't get a goal, and that ends up in them at least being able to touch the flag. Won't go very far though.
Drag out to be able to kind of space some of these players of one right into one another. We're about halfway timer-wise here into our first game of this second round series right now here for group stages. Remember, all of our teams, they will be making it into the bracket stage. It's just a matter of whether you're high or whether you're low. Top half will go into the upper bracket into a qualification final to try and make it into grands. Oh my goodness, forming a circle around him as Bales and eventually finding that headshot. 6N does not want to allow them to get another tap onto this flag. Solid work. Dramora keeps that chance alive, but it's only Nazcast left on the field.
Dead for Flare. As Nazcast actually ends up fighting back a little bit. Took easy with the clean onto Mix. And now 3 dead for 1. This has really been a very back and forth game, but Flare are now getting this flag moving. Let's see if we can put a score up on board.
I don't think anyone can stop them at this point in time. Bales might be the only one that can stop themselves. They should be able to just roll this one in. They do so. Just a quick little 360 to kind of check their surroundings and put a little pickup on Instagram and see what comes next. So finally the first one comes through. 5 minutes left to go. Flare has a lead for the moment, and actually winning that duel is Dramora.
Yeah, very good shots out of everybody so far. We've had some intense 1v1s at this point. Maybe another one. 6N with the win, but will unfortunately fall to Easy, who is 22 and 14 at the moment. Sorry, 22 and 15 now. Once again in this series, just getting all the kills for his team. Obviously, the rest of his team are putting up numbers, but really just heavy stat line for him.
He's that kind of performance. Someone's got to show up, especially if you're on a objective base sort of map mode combo like this. Dramora's running this one back. Just gonna walk away, but it's gonna be easily defensible. See if they can win this duel.
Oh,
they both go. I mean, they both go down, so there's a chance to pick it up without having the easy man advantage. Spookeezy.
Problem.
There's everyone out as well.
Yeah, the bigger problem is now one has this flag moving, and all the way to base. They get this re, and that's the point for them. Now tied 1-1 in this game 1. Let's see what Blair can do to even this out. Not even it out, but you know. Take it.
So answering at least 1 for 1, staving off the easy completion of this. Looks like the flagpole is at least running out, so trying to subvert that is rebound. Ooh, nice, running it down. But it feels like they now have to play full defense. They're gonna try and keep this one away from the utility bridge. That does at least make it to about halfway. One good grab and it might be all over. They have him at absolute. Nazcast is 16-7. He's gonna try and provide some coverage if they can. T4 is gonna pop up there. It is the longest yard at this point. Maybe at least 3 of them. Move flag from point A to point B. It's just nearby. They're gonna play some defense. They don't throw it out in yard though.
Ooh.
Nice assist. Should be able to recover it. It's just gonna be nearby. I don't think there's enough time and enough firepower to be able to stop this from happening, and that's gonna turn into a second cap.
Yeah, mixed age just a little too far away from them to be able to help on that, and that just turns into another cap for Flare. Now, one's biggest problem at the moment is going to be this block. If they can't get something going in the next 2.5 minutes, maybe even a little less at this point, the win just gets defaulted to Flare. So they need to start moving.
2 minutes to go. 6 in. Too many targets and too many angles. He has someone to help him support, and that's Mix. He's going to grab at least the next man in Bales. There's not enough time to really think about it. They have their man in T4, who has been very impactful, is constantly rotating around this map. You think that, oh, 14 and 19, no, but the dude's been moving and grooving. He just needs his teammates to open up some slots, gets it going, and that's as quick and even faster than the other 3. So we are tied up again. CTF is going to come down to the wire, a fadeaway jumper to get that kill, and it is waves crashing on the cliff. A double here for T4 just as he makes it back home.
Another flag pulled for one. See whether or not they'll be able to do anything with this. They're probably going to need some kills to go in their favor, but Nazcast will take out Mix. 3 dead for 1. 6 in, last alive. Caught by Dremora. The flag will be reset.
One last moment before they kind of try to get into there, before this one ends up into OT territory.
Dremora and Bales building up his utility. Trying to get some kills. 4 dead for 1. And the flag will be pulled. Opts for a auto mid route with as many curbsides as possible. Seems to have some teammates with him. This is looking good. The flag will go in, and that makes it 3-2 with 30 seconds left. Can one do anything to stop them winning this game?
Look how everyone is gone, though. Bales is the lone survivor. He's going to play some defense. They're already going to get a flag pull. They decide to go well up in the stairs. One is down, but not out. With 15 seconds left, 3 other spawns are going to happen. It's going to come from outside of base because of where they were. They're going to play some defense, throw it out to yard. That one will be all of a one-touch fancy. You're going to have to be able to get rid of at least 3 of those guys. This flag is stuck in transition, and that's going to be a tie. Just as soon as they were able to pick it up, they were able to get the other one capped. So a good response from out of 1. Absolutely necessary to give themselves a chance to get to here.
Yeah, really good efficiency. They had 30 seconds left, and they got the kills that they needed, and they got the flag that they needed. And now we're here with 5 minutes left on the clock in an overtime.
We got less than 5 minutes to go. It took us about 6 minutes. Either they seem to even get the first one on the board. Gotta wonder if that's gonna continue on. These guys feel like they finally are in proper form at this point in time. Under direct threat of fire. All of Flare. But first flagpole comes out of the house of 1. Separated from it, and it's only Mix Age to try and do anything. They finally move it away as all of these spawns are coming up the fridge.
Yeah, notice how they really try and trap them in there. You get the spawners in a place where you can predict, and they're playing the high ground. And this flag might just go in. That is Flare as your Game 1 champions.
35 and 23 goes Spook Easy. Dude absolutely took over in the slaying department. Fantastic support to make sure that his teammates had chances to move throughout Aquarius. Gotta give some love, though, over to 1. Obviously, different beast, different challenge for them to have to face off into Flare this time around, but looking absolutely devilish with the way that they're able to at least force that into an overtime position. Now for LG Flare, Solar Flare, if you will, they had a fantastic OT situation. They were able to win it from that utility. You were talking about how they were forcing the spawns out into fridge, and then it was all said and done after that narrative. So good looks from out of Flare. Feels like a solid start like we've seen from them before. It's just a matter of can they keep doing that but find finishes this time.
Yeah, I think one thing that I really noticed as that game was moving was the amount of assists that everybody had. Last time we saw Solar Flare play, they were really fighting together with each other, assisting everything. And I think one person on both teams had upwards of 20 plus assists, which just kind of goes to show how much they're helping each other, which
We're
I'd
gonna
like to
see
see
if
good
that
teamwork.
and see if that continues on. And yes, 4 assists, 22 assists from out of 6 and 21 for Bales. So kind of on the negative side, but their damage absolutely paying off. So seeing if that will turn into some similar outcomes or if things flip around since we move away from CTF, we'll be moving our way over to Slayer Recharge. I often see a lot more objective base for a lot of these tournaments on Recharge. Feels like a lot of Koth, a lot of oddball, but Slayer just it comes down to very picky and methodical play at times. And this is the map more often than not, if it's a Slayer, that it goes less than 50 if it's going to happen.
Yeah, often I see recharge slayers end up in very slow situations where the teams need maybe 2 kills and everybody's just trying to stay alive as much as they can. Also, I've seen multiple draws on this map. It's just a map very prone to close end games in Slayer.
We'll see if that continues. And I've witnessed that too many times. I think on the EU side of Halo, everything just kind of goes into a cat and mouse sort of situation. But we'll go into that game. An ounce of momentum from Flare, and you got to think that for this one, they would love to be able to finish off a series. They were 2-0 when they were fighting their LG bros on the Eclipse side of things. But two, if they end up going 0-2, it more or less guarantees, or at least puts a high percentage chance that they'll be on the low side of the bracket when we make it to the double elimination side. So, want to find a 50-50 against one, see if they can force it into a 1-1 on either side and give themselves at least a proper opportunity in round number 3. But I mean, you also have what Unks will be facing off because of this against Lunar Eclipse, and I think that they're doing so on the other side of our little LAN venue here in was it Pine or over in Keiser University? So, sorry, Pembroke Pines. I was like Penn Pines. It's Pembroke Pines.
That's one of them.
It was both actually.
Yep. Yeah, so if you're you're one here, you got to be thinking like, let's get this game. Let's just keep moving forward, right? Let's, start shifting the momentum back because losing a game like that never feels good, right? As a player, you're thinking like, oh, I could have done better here, whatever. Those are sometimes good thoughts, but can also affect your mental state coming off a game like that. You really just gotta bounce back and make sure you're playing your best Halo.
Right now, we're just waiting for game number 2 to start. We'll be getting into that momentarily. We cannot currently see our producer's view, so that's all that we're kind of waiting on to be able to get you guys up into it. LAN vibes being LAN vibes being LAN vibes. So, for all of that, I mean, okay, so you're a competitor, so I've been told, Synth, by yourself and the great powers beyond. What's the have you been able to win a championship? Have you been into?
Oh no, definitely not.
Not a single one.
Not close.
Not ever in your life.
Actually, I have been in one grand finals.
Oh, okay. All right. Spill.
Shout out to the Halo Rec League.
Okay.
Doing great things over there. I
Okay.
played in one of their grand finals not too long ago.
How'd that go?
We lost, but
Oh.
it was one of those deals where your mental starts spiraling and you start playing worse and worse as the games go on, which is something we might end up seeing here. We as you lose games poorly. You gotta just keep the vibes up, and then
What
naturally the score comes up.
what's your key tactic for keeping positive energy? Do you get up? Do you do some jumping jacks? Do you fist fight a walrus? What's like the main thing you go for?
Um, Seal is my preferred fist fight.
Oh, okay, fair. They don't have the tusks. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Fair
less
fight.
dangerous.
Yeah.
No, but really just like keeping it light, joking, like, obviously thinking about what you could be, doing better so that you can play better, but just staying happy, I'm just playing Halo.
Okay. I've seen some folks like whenever they make squads. Obviously, you go for like high skill plateaus and like teams that can do really well together. But then like they kind of look for the one jokey guy, someone that's able to kind of balance out. Because you get like the super seriouses, you get the guys that may be overly toxic, you get the one dude who doesn't talk at all, and then you try to find a mid range. And so it's like you try to like everyone kind of rallies around the one dude who has a little bit more of the charisma, like
I've played in some of those squads.
Did I
like
describe a few?
Yeah. I've had a couple squads like that over my time playing, and yeah, I just try and always like make sure we're, not getting down on each other, not getting down on, ourselves when we're playing, and I think that's a good thing to try and do if you're a competitor. Just like keep the vibes going.
Do you lock in hard enough that if they're yelling over a monitor or just like saying nonsense, do you actually even hear it? Because I've seen like I talked to a few guys, especially shout out to the College Halo side. I would be like, hey man, they were dogging you the entire time. Like, did you hear anything? I was like, oh man, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, okay, fantastic. That means that the headphones were working, I guess. But
Yeah.
being able to lock that out, it seems incredible. like such an effort.
Yeah. Playing in LAN is definitely an experience, and like just the amount of things that are around you, right? I haven't been screamed at over the top of a monitor that many times,
Okay.
fortunately. So
Would you see it as an honor, like if someone did, because they're trying to like rattle you and then they just can't?
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. But just a thing to keep in mind on LAN is just like you have to focus on the game, right? You can't let the outside world take your focus off of the game, because you're gonna have people walking behind you, around you, talking at you, whatever, screaming over monitors, all the stuff that can transpire in a LAN environment, and you just gotta keep focused on playing your best game.
Well, you guys heard it here first. If you want to make Synth feel the best that they could ever be, make sure to yell at them. That's what this tells me. Synth loves to be yelled at, aspires to have violence verbally thrown their way. So, I'm proud of you. But also, hold on, you're bad. There you go. Just so you know, you're a cheater, hacker.
I've been called a cheater a bunch of times, though. I love getting called a cheater. Actually, no, that's actually one of my favorite things ever.
What are you, Spartan? What is that? Is that a USB stick? What is that? Too real?
Don't poke it there. Don't get Spartan angry at you. He'll mess with your computer settings.
My bad. My apologies. Just the one time, right? It's fine.
Royal 2. Router 2.
It was just once. Fine. I believe we've restarted our game. So we're chilling. We're hanging out. We're gonna be getting in a lobby, I think soonish. I want to. I gotta. Okay, we're hanging out for the moment. I gotta wonder. Wait, a producer in the sky. I know you're busy. Are Unks still playing? Did they lose again? We're getting word. Okay, cool. All right. So, gang, it was not another games done quick speed run. Okay,
We
They're
don't know
still
when they
playing.
started. They could have started 5 minutes ago.
Don't tell them that. Come on. Hey, 5 minutes and a. Whoa, no way. They just got to the Slayer.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right, it's fine. Yeah, 5 minute, 5 flag CTF would have been kind of rough. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. Look, we've all been 250 to zeroed, right?
I don't know about all of us. I always try and
Um,
just sneak out 1 point.
That's fine.
You know,
That's-
you got to get your 1 point just to
Yeah.
like not absolutely like
Yeah.
fall apart afterwards.
Yeah. It's like
Did you
getting
get 250
7-1.
node?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Horrible
getting
feeling.
World Cupped. You know. It's not my favorite way to lose a game. I don't know. What do you think is worse? Losing by a landslide or losing close?
It depends.
Okay.
If the whole game was close, like the entire way, like it was tied score the entire way up, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say probably losing by a landslide. But
Okay.
if it's close, like we just made a 10-point comeback and could have won the game, or whatever. Like I'm using Slayer as an example because game 5,
Right.
Slayer. I think that's probably worse by far. Like if you made a comeback and you know you could have won, it's a horrible feeling to lose.
You were like just a step away from
Yeah,
maybe
greatness.
one little half mistake not being, or is just your undoing or your glory.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
just
that's
so
fair.
close to.
It's like
a win,
like in a
and you
like
just
a
fail.
strongholds being at like what, like 246, 248. And you're like, oh, we got this, we're fine. And then suddenly they're like 120, and they're like, nah, we'll eventually get it. And then you never get it back.
Yeah, I had one of those games earlier, a couple
Ugh,
days ago.
it's
Hey,
hurtful.
ranked is rough.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's no
Ranked
one's
is
real
it
best
rough.
friend. That's why
Yeah,
y'all should go.
what's your last shot?
Well, true. Then it's just easy wins.
I
Plus-
looked at his ESR the other day. He loses like 1 in every 10 games. It's actually wild.
Wow. And it's actually just him quitting. It's not even a real loss.
It
He's like,
probably-
getting a burrito.
Yeah, last shot's a different kind of beast.
Speaking of different beasts, we do have everyone in our lobby. We're just hoping that we'll be able to get the lobby begun. So we've got our Slayer, we've got our players, we had our players. The 8th player's gone. It's fine.
No.
It was.
Ugh.
At least we didn't start the
Very sad.
game and then
yeah, that is true.
lose them. It's all right. Hey, okay, we're gonna change the names.
We're getting wait, one was right, was it not? It's backwards now,
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it needs to be Flare.
and it needs to be flare. Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to be flipped.
Yeah, and you guys can't see what we're talking about,
We're just
Over.
directing.
but we are right. I like that one of them is Eclipse.
Right, there we go.
If
Wait,
you
are they the
had to
solar
play,
flares.
yes. If you
Yeah,
had,
it's plural. Send them back in there.
don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We had Flare literally on the other thing. No. Just... Hey.
I wish y'all could see this. It's
Everyone
great.
give some love to Slim, please. Dude
Yeah,
is
Slim doing
a
all of it.
wonderful job.
W Slim in chat. I want to
Big
see some.
Slims. All right. We are loading in. Pray that it works the first time. Big hopes and dreams that we just move through the Slayer. Shock rifle will be available. Camo will be the first prerogative. All right. I need your thoughts. Would it be better? Or like, because I know everyone basically goes full whole hog sprint
Slayer.
to fight in pit and go for this camo off rip. Do you think that it should be at all delayed off of a 30-second from game start sort of situation, kind of how like they do streets?
Yeah, street. I think all power weapons should, or power weapons and
Utility.
Yeah, all equipment should work like that, and I don't think anything should be up off the start of the game. It just kind of makes the start of the game the death match, which, you know, kind of defeats some of the competitive aspect of the game, if that makes sense.
Okay.
In my eyes, I mean, that's just what I think. I think it should be delayed a little bit.
Okay. I like
15
that.
seconds, 30 seconds, you know, whatever.
Kind of set up
Whatever
a
it may be.
strategy. You get like a few
Yeah.
that kind of begin, basically. Well, off initial rip, we do have 5 kills. Spread amongst all of one, mixed with the majority. In fact, it is a 7-0 ripper. Finally getting the first one is Speacial, who was absolutely tearing through them Swiss cheese style in the previous game. This time around, Mora's having to walk it on back, and finally we're getting a little bit of life from out of Flare.
Yeah, just like coming off of that game, and the loss that they did, it's really good to see Flare coming out hot. You know, they're up 8 points at this point. We bound 4-0. They're frying, and that's definitely good to see. They're kind of shifting the momentum back in their favor.
Still early portions are early 20, but an 11-5 beginner is actually fantastic. For Mora on cleanup duty and combining quite well with her teammate, only sacrificing Bales, a killjoy, to get rid of what was Rebound's initial killing spree in the first life. So letting them know that they're not going to take that one easily. 5 to 6 kills separates both these squads initially here for our first couple of minutes.
Yeah, as I believe you said earlier, the early game of Slayer isn't as much as, important as the kind of mid-30s is when it starts getting like, you know, these kills really matter. And so far, that proves to be true as Flares brings this back within 3 kills off an opening 7-kill deficit.
Little tit for tat right now as they are trying to work into the rotation of where in the world all the rest of one is coming from. I think they were hopping in from that C plat and kind of moving horizontally off of control room just as everyone retreated. So flexing away from that is Flares. They've gone high ground, but look how they've been invaded from that window position. They're not letting them have a free scope of the landscape. That's about it. Still, every time they try to duel outwards, you get one coming right back to him. Not sure exactly about the green gun there, but Bales ends up finding themselves a kill.
Yeah, really good showing out of Flares off this start, being able to bring that back so almost effortlessly. Now only a 3-kill game. A lot of that could be credit to just, you know, Dramora, Bales, all of them getting their kills, winning their fights. Yeah.
Enemy halfway to victory.
Just over the midway mark. As we bound right now at a 3.0 KD. His teammate and Mix just a little bit of a touch above. Actually, back behind, rather. They do hit 10 first. Starting to get a stretch of this lead, especially with the main man and Dramora at 10 and 8. Nazcast hasn't really found their footing the same way they did last time that they were on a Slayer in the previous series, where Flares is starting to show kind of belly up. 5-kill diff. Nice finisher by Flares at least, but they're starting to invade one at a time. This is where their game plan kind of comes to ruin. As they get that early start, they're feeling a lot of confidence, and then they don't have the same finishing form that they had when they first began.
Mix Age just living, Mix Age just living forever there on the Dorito. Just trying to use his teammates to stay alive there, and he does. Currently 11-6, leading kills almost for the lobby, but definitely for his team. Mora with 13 currently, leading the lobby.
Yeah, it's one of of those where they're hoping to get a quick kind of bunny hop bounce to maybe start moving back towards that elevator side. Protecting this camo pickup is at least one. Looks like Webound was able to just burn a little bit through it. So that will not be a pickup at all in favor of Flares to try and take it away from one. Bale's in a weird position. They don't want to get taken out. They decide to go whole hog into it. They force him actually to go low ground. T4 dies. 6 kills still in their favor, though, is one. Catching Dremora on the rotation, going absolute. Is at least all of one off of that rafter. They hit 40, and they might be able to rush this one the rest of the way out.
Yeah, this is the thing about Slayer. This was 8 kills, now 6 kills. You know, the gaps can be closed, but if they want to close this gap and take the win, it needs to happen right about now as one hits 43. And they're closing in on this win. 7 more kills to go. And they have this one in the bag unless players can come back here.
See, that's when that particular fight, that was when Bales either needs to go directly back to control him and then look crossfire-wise, which they are right now. Should be able to get a double kill. They do give up their life over to Sixen, or they re-engage from off of that same stairwell fight. You see all of one trying to now push up from that Hydra. They've got shock rifle. Sixen might be able to end the game right here. If they land at least one solid shot and then collapse on the rest, they do! Spookeasy hits the ground, and all of one comes flooding in.
Just trying to land that shot. Will he hit it? No, he will not. Sixen and his shock rifle will fall to the hands of Nazcast. Players just trying to live. One more death and the game is over. Bales falls and that one is gonna go to 1.
Oh,
Series now 1-1.
it's a fantastic response. What was a really nice lead that basically kind of preceded them the entirety of this game thereafter. So good looks by one to bounce back after a CTF that was very, very touch and go and very close down to the final. But a lot of damage being poured out of Webound. I saw a lot of love from Dremora. They mostly played kind of clean up. The positive line actually was from Spookeasy, who made sure just to kind of stay alive. But the rest of this was what? I think at one point they had about 8 to 9 kills above. And I mean, Webound was looking very systematic alongside the rest of his squad.
Yeah, I think one kind of held a lead for a lot of that game. They lost the lead and then they brought the lead back, right? They really did kind of take a lot of control of that game at a couple different points. And just a lot of damage coming out of them. And yeah, I would like to just kind of highlight Spookeasy just looking at literally everything on the map.
Yeah.
Putting out so much damage every single game I've seen so far. He's been just absolutely lighting up everybody constantly.
Kind of omnipresent wherever they need him to be, need to go, but they also need that to turn into long and impactful lives. Definitely had the only positive damage differential of all of his teammates. So they see if maybe more of that turns around. We do get a guaranteed 4 games out of this. So far, Flares has been unable to leave a series cleanly. But for one, this is new territory since they had a 3-0 sweep over Unks. We'll be going over to King of the Hill Vacancy, which this one starts with a very contested top mid hill. Shock Rifle will be right in the midst of it. For, I guess, the 3 mains that you get off of this. You get Oddball, Slayer, or King of the Hill. I feel like King of the Hill is my favorite of those, because Oddball just becomes kind of a one note symphony whenever you have to just run it to reset and just do that over and over again. I really like Koth on this.
Koth almost plays kind of trolly in my opinion. Just
okay.
How some of these hills, it's almost just like you have to full send them and full send them and full send them and full send them over and over again to win. And
King of the Hill.
We'll see if that's the case here, whether or not one team can hold a solid setup and get some hill time.
Whoever gets this game gets match point. We'll find out if that's going to be one aiming for a 2-0 in series record for group stage before we hit round number 3.
Kill incoming.
Or Flares will find their way back into the driver's seat. They got that first game. Is that all they're going to get?
I do
Immediate
believe,
surge.
Enemy team took the kill.
in theory, if Flares does manage to take this game, these two teams become tied in series record, both 1-1. So that kind of puts them in the middle category of placement. You know, one of these teams will end up in the lower bracket. But it just kind of comes down to whatever they decide to use to break the tie there.
More looking for information. Where in the world is everyone going to be next? Because they were just near that doorway. Sixin was given the comms, be looking for them. But Bales is trying to just play as a negotiator, throw out some checkmates, space away Sixin's run down of this hill. But Bales was able to get them at least to halfway. Now with the rest of the re-engagement off of this quick plunging invasion from one. Gonna have the same kind of spawners that might be able to take advantage of it. You have a very sneaky little corner right there from off of Secret to make use of and trying to be able to get some hill time. And that's where the majority of this early center hill has been going.
You see one trying to take some space on the map. Red,
Enemy team took the
T4
hill.
will lose that fight against Speakeasy. One will get at least a little bit of full time off that though. Speakeasy just cleaning up all the kills, winning all of his fights. Maybe except that one, 5-2 currently. Mora 6-3. Those two together are a deadly duo apparently.
Enemy
Wow.
team scored.
3 dead for 1 and a kill for Flares. Excellently done.
Kill
I would say that they were trying to systematically set up spawners to go to that next hill just outside of Hut. But
Enemy
in
team
the long term, there was just a lot of I take you, you take me, see what this trade looks like. Looking for a triple kill. They've got maybe an infantry just around the corner. They're trying to be able to respawn or trying to be able to reload. Can they get the 4-star Dragon Ball?
No.
Well, unofficial, but still not the same. 4 dead at one point, but that's about it.
Yeah, really good efficiency out of Bales, just using the one shot that he needs to get those kills. And yeah, he cleans up almost for an over. No kill time for players off of any of that.
Should be the most advantageous squad between the two to make something happen. This is one of the more exposed hills. As much as I say that, so is top mid, but feels like you can also work pretty decently around, not just the back loop outside of that reset cliff, but as well as this hut. Still, no one has really set a foot for very long into hill number 2. T4 wants to win the wiggle battle. Mora trying to assist here with Bales, and Bales just goes straight into the death loop. They get exploded, and the chain reaction happens. Now shock rifle will be exchanged between red and blue players.
We bound with almost perfect help there, just pushing that angle with his teammate and getting the kills. And that should earn them some time. Speakeasy falls, Bales, Mora will pick up kills. 4 dead for 1. Only 1 casualty going towards Flares.
You would swear that this hill had cooties with the way no one was touching it. This time around, feels like they've gotten over those would-be issues. Nazcast trying to run away. They eventually get bad touched by Webound. 10-8. Speakeasy will clear the rest of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles down here in the sewer. Oh, nice nade that will bounce behind them. Webound is down checked, but they're chasing him down. There should be some time now gained by 1.
Man, if that was me, that nade would land on my face and explode immediately.
It's right behind him.
6 in here, 5 and 10. 5 assists. Just slow start a lot. A lot of times for him on these games, not really picking up that many kills. Lots of assists though, especially in that one flag. Hopefully he can get something
Enemy
going.
team took the hill.
Is this gonna be a 2-hill match? I say we finally paused the timer at just around 120 seconds left to go. Dremora and Bales and Speacial, oh my,
Enemy
end up
about to score.
dropping down. We're within range of maybe getting this hill. A nicely placed grenade is able to get rid of one.
Enemy
Now
about
you got
to score.
flares that will try to finally complete this hill. They're all gonna rush in from top mid, but that basically telegraphs the play. Speacial trying to take on too many targets. Nazcast will at least look for that last kill. It's not gonna matter. Oh boy, will they commit some thievery and steal this from them?
Just an unfortunate 4 dead for Flares there. Gives one the hill. You know, they played a little bit too loose and ended up falling, taking the hill over to the other team. Sixen will try and live there. Does seem to get out alive. Mixage just putting out all the damage he can.
Hill number 3 with not a lot of time to take it. Everything is just gonna burn down a few of these engagements. Half strength for either side as they go into a 2v2. Dremora and Speacial versus Sixen and T4. So no one really has a sure position outside of Hotel. This red tower is actually very strong, but as soon as you start standing up there, you kind of give away everything. Rebound falls. It's the top Slayer right now for one. Sixen will follow them. Dremora and Bales are committing to similar outcomes. Finally, Hill begins anew. Only temporarily. Shock rifle will slam into pavement.
I think both teams here just really looking for the perfect opportunity as time drains. You know, if they can start getting kills here, either side, and get, you know, some time. Now, you know, if players catch this, there's only 44 seconds left on the clock. They can play time easily. So, you know, just taking their time, being patient, looking for an opening, and Flares seems to have that as they pick up almost half the time on this hill.
Running together. Another 2 versus 1 off of this red hill, 1 high, 1 low. Gonna throw some nades, gonna force them off into more uncomfortable corners from around these columns. Can't get back onto hill for free. In fact, they're gonna give up both those players. There's only 1 left remaining. T4 will rush in. Has to win a fight against Speacial. Speacial's hurt. Speacial's left in crossfire, and Speacial is no more. So suddenly, Hotel control in the hands of one. We got 22 seconds. Ideas, thoughts, and just moments to try and take over the rest of this game and maybe get themselves in a very precarious lead.
Yeah, with just 20 seconds left on the clock, whoever captures this hill gets a much easier time to win the game. Just with the limited amount of time left, there's almost nothing you can do except play like completely perfect Halo in that situation. Flares will step in the hill though, hoping to get some time for them. 8 seconds left on the clock. Time continues to drain. Still 1-1.
Overtime.
It'll be one's all. We have a 2-minute bonus clock. So either you stand in it, you force the OT, or you just let this one roll. And it looks like one was priming themselves for the extra time. Sixen's gonna be underneath. They have red tower control. Rebound is just standing on here for free. One last engagement, and this will all be toasted. Hold that thought. Bales has to win that fight against T4. They have 2 around the rim from here over with Hotel. Mix is not going to expose themselves. T4 going high ground. You have someone, I think, Sixen from low mid. Speacial decides to step onto the plate. They actually have a chance to be able to take this one away, just like the last one was stolen from them. 95 seconds left.
T4 will challenge Hill. Sixen will fall with him, and hopefully they can get that pick too. T4 takes out Dremora. Mixage challenging from the balcony, but will fall. Momentary 4 dead.
Defeat.
And that is the game for Flares. Winning 2-0 on overtime.
Trying for the dramatic,
2-1.
trying for some theater. The thespians will love it. And for all of Flare, and especially with Luminon, looking at that like, woo. Also, pizza. A little bit of snack time. All right.
Yeah,
Well-
those boys earned it. I'm guessing 3-0 against Unks, which puts Luminon Eclipse at the very top with a 2-0 record.
Tremora, what 20 and 15, I think that was. Yeah, there it is. A lot of assists out of Nazcast and Bales, and Bales was looking much improved going into this game. In fact, both Naz and Bales at 17, 17, and 13. So trying to just Wonder Twin powers activate through much of this. But, I mean, very long hill too, I think is what
Yes.
we need to craft after that. That was a very long hill too. Understandably so, with the way that it's just fully exposed, but 6k damage and just leading up right after him from Speakeasy to the rest. It actually was surprising that Hill did not finish with Flares already taking it, but that last one, very 50-50.
Yeah, that was really just up to who could get control in that moment. And at the end of the day, Flares just got the kills, they got the timing, and they got the hill. Their KDs were really impressive from that game. Everybody was positive. KDA wise. Yeah, they're just getting the kills. They're winning their fights a lot of the time, and they're doing it when they need to. Let's see if they can continue that into this ranked strongholds on Livefire.
Got a good old C-plat, and I love running that defense over towards green. It's one of my favorite holds. I know, like, it just feels like it's in its own little trapped dimension and void, and then you just basically get caught having to do some chaotic, all right, big door, garage, like, what do I do? So, run down by one, try and gain early control. They want to steal this. They want to have B, they want to take the S7, they want to take this backside of A. Man, a little bit of scheming. They try to just root out Dremora, who has invaded back town.
Yeah, very aggressive, very active out of one. I like to see that. Again, just coming out hot after a loss. Just kills. I say that, though. We bound, and T4 will fall. We'll be back up momentarily, though. Let's see,
Enemy team scoring.
see what they can do with this BC hold.
Challenge
Easy with camo.
Easy wants to scare him off. I'll let him have any kind of sideline. They eventually get Spookeasy's camo now off the board, and points continue anew. You know, we had a game 5 in our first series of the day. And our second, well, our second was very quick, regardless of what you know about the tech pauses. This one has potential to go to a full Slayer. T4 gets knocked out. Finally, B's under certain threat. 6th really can't easily over-engage. Speakeasy trying to hold the door against them, and finally points begin getting gathered by Flares.
Yeah, this 30 points, though, gives them a comfortable little pillow to sit on as they work back towards some of the zones to try and continue scoring. Just keep them in the lead a little bit.
Ooh. That's what it's like to get punched by Mike Tyson, by the way.
You just get sent flying.
Yeah.
You have experience. Going for the teammate there. A little risky.
Dude annoyed him. Must have said something in the old team van. I don't know. I don't know the gossip. Someone's gotta let me know.
Probably writing that off as a sniper burn.
Ah, yes.
Enemy team scoring.
One way. It's like, hey, yeah, I just want to get rid of this. I don't want them to have it, so just don't let me hit you in the head. Okay. Camo for Webound is 2 and 5. Not hitting the same stride they had a little bit ago, hoping to
Enemy team
zone away
scoring.
Naz off of green. They don't do too much more than just scaring them with some fireworks. But points continue to stack up. Only 2 were picked up in as much time. So players will be able to hold this crossbar on the door, but they immediately just knock him out.
Again, melee is just going into the void. 2, 3 now of Flares will fall. One takes control of A and B. Speakeasy and Bales to grab the sniper. Let's see what they can do with it.
That if this game had wallbang, they would have wallbanged. I believe that.
Probably.
Imagine the next Halo has wallbang.
Probably. Honestly, it might.
Yeah.
There's not that much that can be
Score.
ball bangable.
Yeah.
It's mostly just rock.
Hey, there could be thin rock. Sandbag. Oh, there's a lot of rock. A lot of 50-50s happening right now. A lot of sudden changes. We've had a lot of shotgun-esque sniping. 3 down for flares. Sixen is with 3 bullets left. They want to flip B and C together to maybe trip cap for the first time, catch up these 23 points, and maybe then some.
Where's the A though? To make sure that they can't get that trip cap. Mix misses the stick there onto the 2 players. Players at C now will pick up rebound. 3 fall 1.
Enemy team score.
Mix left alone at B. Not quite. He's got T4 with him, but T4 flies the bags. Being sneaky with this.
You know that Halo Infinite has the same ragdoll physics and sticking engine as Gang Beasts does?
That's actually awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
game.
I mean, that's why whenever you see like a Spartan stick on something, it's Gang Beast.
That's pretty funny, actually.
What? BC looking to flip A if maybe just to keep flares at home. Force them to have to kind of refocus. In doing so, they give up the ghost. They actually have a chance to get this camo. In fact, that does come up. Sixen, the lone man left alive, and they are going to be the ghost man as they do get that camo done. A and B, for all the focus on Turbine and that utility, allows flares to kind of circumnavigate and go around. So 100 points gained. Can one bounce back? You've got camo with Sixen. Getting sneaky. Might be on a collision course here with Nazcast. Nazcast seeing too many invisible ghosts. Killing spree right now for Sixen. They're making that camo pay off.
Yeah, it's only about a 20 point, maybe 30 point deficit for one. You know, with what Sixen did with that camo, and we're currently mustering up, that lead starts to dwindle. Speakeasy looking for help. Rebound. Yes.
That Flares just got their 3rd sniper. So maybe some of that contributing to overall what they've been able to do. I thought that was going to be a quick no-scope. So they're going to have to work this one much more concertedly through columns. Being invaded from behind off of this ramp position. In fact, a couple will fall. I believe Sniper is now down somewhere. I didn't see anyone with it in their hands. They're going to try and make this into a trip cap.
Look like Rebound and maybe Mix just kind of walked past it. Unless it fell off the map, but I do believe it should be down back tower. And, players might know that. Do flip A.
Just cat and mouse. Okay, so they get A. They're now in a 50-point hole and then some. Trying to get
Very
out
unfortunate spawns for Dremora.
Yeah, they're all the way up into it, and then suddenly you see one just in your face. You're like, well,
Enemy team score.
record scratch, black and white. You're probably wondering how I got it.
Enemy team score.
Not seen this point scoring cease 4-1 for a while. They're on a victory road to force us to yet another game 5 for Flares. This one a little bit different than getting reverse swept by their brother team in Luminon Eclipse. Trying to at least force the issue is Nazcast, 11-13, hoping to flip B if they possibly can. They will do that.
Score.
Now they intend to surge outwards, playing some defense as the rest of one here from A.
upgrades, but 3 fall for 1. They'll keep fighting a 6 in. Will lose with the help of Speakeasy. And that's some points for players at least. Trying to close the gap a little bit. 60 points remaining between the two teams, and then also for one to win the game.
Another team fight as a towel kind of makes everyone still here on live fire. One little wipeout ends up happening. 3 out
Enemy team
against
score.
Flares. You're going to see this one trolled and told with B. And in fact, since A was not completed, they've got double points. Hell of a sprint forthcoming, a double kill. And now they're just trying to clear the rest of the board. Might be able to get yet another one. Dramora and everyone is gone. 30 points. And that's swiftly going to be done in about 12 seconds. See how the rest of this completes. One trying to force a game 5. Wants to stay undefeated in group stages. 5 seconds left to go. Mix trying to be able to just point blank snipe. They need to contest 2 separate sites. They're gonna do so with C and A. C gets rounded up. A is at least under threat. They survive for just a few seconds longer.
If they can make this comeback, it'd be one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen on a stronghold. Especially this close. Bale's falling in there, and Dramora down.
Score.
Might seal the deal, and that will take us to a game 5.
Nice run back by 1. They were able to keep that one from getting any worse. And in fact, I think it was like 120 straight points before finally we got to see that little bit of flair from out of Flares. But unfortunately for them, they have yet another date with game 5. That's going to be a Slayer forthcoming. And I mean, a 2-0 could be in the works. 5k damage just out of Dramora. But even that and plus some on a couple players with 6 and T4 from out of 1.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing like the team that wins is the team that's, you know, out damaging. A lot of Flares weren't positive in their damage. A lot of one was they were winning their fights. They were killing a lot of people. They were helping each other again. And I think Flares just kind of died at the wrong times. But also just kind of let the game get away from them towards the middle section when one kind of picked up that decent sized lead.
Oh, now it boils down to a game 5. I think we're going to streets for our Slayer. We'll get to find out where that ends up propelling us for either a 2-0 and 0-2 between the two teams, or if we'll be tied up 1-1 all after this series going into round number 3 of our round robin today at Keiser University. So, I mean, all right, way different situation probably to at least cope, right? Flares not being reverse swept, but are being forced to this Slayer. The last Slayer wasn't
Slayer.
handedly taken, but generally in control when you think of how it was approached in game number 2 from out of 1. They don't have any major power weapons to deal with. There's going to be a camo. There's going to be a red gun. So that stalker rifle has medium effect at most. This one, it's either going to be just full speed ahead, or it's going to be a lot of strategy to dissect this square map. Let's go to game 5.
Back here with T4. We'll pick up one onto Nazcast, but that sticky just about evades it. Bales will fall. That's 3 dead for Flares as one loses 0 members.
Oh, 4-0 wipeout. Flares suddenly flare up and they go down. They try to just kind of reverse cycle. Oh my goodness, a tricky little hiding spot as they're up on that top balcony, but Mix was just behind that little kind of table, so it gave them just enough that they could lunge out and get one. But a 3-1 exchange. It comes out at least with a plus up for Flares to try and get within distance of this brutally slay lead. Still holding that by 3.
these three players back A just working together to get as much damage as possible onto the separated members of older players. And it's working. They're up now 4 points. Although 2 do fall for 1.
Down to last bullet, no problem. Fists still exist. They are rated E for all y'all. So good looks from out of 1. Try and run in, run out. Maximize their life.
All of y'all.
Don't worry about that. I bought the E. It's a Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Oh. Double kill for here for Webound as they found 1 bouncing from out of Tram. So much fighting happened on this lower side of the map. You get so much from the Tram side, out of Arcade. You don't really get the power draw necessary to have to go over to PD. Nicely placed grenade from out of Webound. Dude is frying out there right now at 8 and 3. 18-9, doubling up the lead.
Yeah, Webound is a very strong player. I've played him before in tournaments. And, yeah, he's always putting on a show.
Letting them know, and honestly, this because of an 11-point lead, players is in a rough spot because not only do they have to chase this lead, but you're kind of left having to force the issue. But they're going in 1 at a time. Camo, I believe, was just found by players. See if they can maximize some of that to an effect. But
Dremora falls immediately. Their camo is already gone. 1 just very efficient on getting these kills. And has put them into a 14-point lead as they approach the 30-point mark.
I am reminded that there is a little box jump spot there. I've forgotten that exists. But I've never also receded that deep into that corner, so glad to know it's there. All 3 fighting towards that window. A 15-point situation that you are flares. You're not trying to shift this one any further. Still losing pretty much everyone, every single engagement. Not good looks right now. A 1 looking fantastic as they're within 17, the exact number that's across from them to try and put the rest of this game away.
Yeah, now up double their score. Just, you know, trying to dominate the rest of this. And just keep the lead ahead. They do fall 3 dead, which might give Flares an opening, but they're going to have to play consistently excellent Halo if they want to continue this comeback.
Falling short twice into a game number 5. Got to feel at least a little bit of copium that you get to have this group stage to kind of finalize everything. But 1 is really showing true colors right now that they're trying to take over the entirety of this bracket, or rather this group stage. They may have themselves a collision course. Another 2-0 foe. Synth finds a double, 13 and 5. Being magnificent. 12-kill lead. Should keep it down a distance now. You are starting to see them just kind of lose the sauce. Synth has been invading from the backlines over and over and over again. Couldn't quite get the comms up of where he was.
Nazcast will fall to a single shot. Camo up in 5. Members of 1 are definitely looking to play for this. Just make this comeback even less possible for Flares, but 3 do fall for 1. Nazcast will eventually clean up 6 in. I did not see where that camo went. Okay, so it's to Dremora.
It'll be the second time he's at it. Turn it into something, but they pretty much know that off of comms and calls, someone might be trying to come up. They're going to slow the game down. They know they got to force some of this extra issue. Looking for a double kill. Can't quite win the wiggles. They'll be able to get a double. Killing spree to end their life. Then 9. They get 8. Oh man, I could just start counting numbers. But this one has been able to be righted. They have to keep the wind in their sail.
Yeah, if you're 1 at this point, honestly, I mean, I'm just looking for trades here. 7 more kills can be 7 more trades, and That's works just the same. What we can't be doing is losing fights, and that seems to be what's happening here. Rebound will pick up 1, but now the gap is just 4, and this is a totally possible win if you're Flares.
Flares has been able to cut down what was a 15-point lead down to less than a handful. Trying to prove that they can be able to at least take game 5 at one point or another. Still, all 5 fingers now show up as they get that one trade necessary to stay above them. Don't want to be caught alone. Rebound. They're going to try and throw out at least a couple of smoke grenades. Their teammate finds another. They'll get a trade. Down to 2.
One at this point is just looking to trade. The last thing they want to do is die in this situation without at least some damage.
5 minutes remain.
All the players stack back towards this PD side. They pick up 1. And 1 does as well. 3 dead for 1, but players die as well.
So close, yet so far. So that means our round number 3 comes down to this narrative. I believe, if we're not mistaken, Unks are now 0-2. Such is the same light now with Flares, regardless of how many games. They've gone 10 games, could not come up with a couple wins or a 1 win overall. I think Unks probably went 0-3 twice, so that's going to be a completely different matchup of those two 0-2s going against one another. But Eclipse at 2-0 and 1 at 2-0. That's your collision course for who's able to have the number 1 seed. But the thing about it is that this is a preview. Top 2 go into the upper side of the bracket. Bottom 2 go into the lower side of the bracket. Guess who's facing off against one another? So they get basically a preamble match before we hit the bracket.
Yeah, so bottom bracket is looking like, if I'm not mistaken, Flares and Unks, right?
Yep.
And then top bracket is 1 and Eclipse.
Yeah. So,
sounds like some good matchups there.
Yeah. So we'll get to see him play twice. And you guys will get to see even more of that. We'll be back in just a little bit. Keiser University, Keiser Classic here with the Seahawks over in Pembroke Pines is coming live and loud at you. We'll be taking a short break as we set for round number 3.